What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Forza Faceoff. I'm JERMgaming, and I'm joined by Singularity80.
Hey Jeremiah, how you doing?
I am doing all right, although you are fresh off of 2 straight wins, so I'm feeling pretty hungry this time. I'm not gonna lie. Last time we did those absolutely horribly powerful Italian supercars, which was just a giant, horrible mess. But this time,
Jeremiah, mob wars are messy. That's how it works.
Yeah. So this time we're going to make it a little simpler. We're going to do a $25,000 wild card challenge. That means you have $25,000 to buy the car and modify the car to suit your purposes. So the only things that are not allowed are any cars the game gives you for free. Because like there's some cars I'm looking now, like the 1988 BMW M5 is a free car. I can't take that and put 25 grand of mods on it. Like, that's not allowed. So you have to pick a car, modify it, and we're going to meet up after everything's modified, and we're going to race then. Do you have any preliminary thoughts?
I think there's some decent base cars that can be picked from, but there's also... modding could certainly, depending on what car you pick, modding could play a huge part in this. So
it could.
I think it'll be a little bit more. I think the goal will be to try to strike a balance. You're going to want a high-rated car to start with, and then, but also one that doesn't compromise your cost to where you can't mod it at all.
Yeah.
So,
and viewers, I'm thinking either this car or another one I'm going to show you. So we're not going to meet up until we've modified everything. So we're going to have the normal like 30 minutes to do all the mods and everything. And there's some really solid choices. I'm looking through here.
There is.
This is another one I'm looking at, viewers. That one right there.
My choice has been set.
Yeah, I imagine. And then I'm also pretty tempted. And I think Steven thinks I'm going to get one of these because knowing me at all, I would totally get this car or this car, but I'm not going to get any of those. I'm going to get this car way over here. All right, so you have your car picked, Steven? All right, well, we are going to now buy them, modify them, and then hop into a session together and have some fun. Let's do it. So, ordinarily, I would love to get a BMW and just pimp it out because that's something I would totally do. But I do actually own one of these, not this year range. I own a 2001 MR2 Spider, and because of that, I'm thinking this might be like the perfect choice. It's super light, rear engine, rear wheel drive, not a bad looker. Let's see if any of these paint jobs look halfway decent at all. I don't really get most of the paint jobs in the online store, to be honest. Or not the store, but like the player submitted ones. They're just kind of crummy looking. We'll stick to a real basic. We'll just pick one of the colors that the car came in. I have $519,854 or credits, and I can go down to 494,854 credits. So the Spider, or sorry, I keep calling it the Spider because mine's a Spider. This is just an MR2 GT. The MR2 is a very light car, a very good handling car. It does suffer from snap oversteer, at least in the real world. I'm curious to see if they have that in this game. Let's see. This thing actually handles really well. I'm pretty impressed. Now, a $25,000 challenge, you don't really have the flexibility to add a ton of stuff to the car. You kind of just have to go with whatever works. You know, add a little more power, add a little more handling, stuff like that. But you can't get too drastic. So, yeah, overall, I would say this is a good car. I feel like I could do a lot with this thing. So let's drive it back and let's throw some mods on it.
So we have our car costs $10,000. Already has a fairly good base level of performance. Now we have to get in here and mod this thing. We have $15,000 to do it. We're not going to be able to do an engine swap, that's for sure. We could swap up to an all-wheel drive drivetrain though. which would give us a whole lot of launch, some more acceleration. It would ding the braking and handling a little bit. Oh, well, we got to put a turbo on it. That's 92 horsepower for $1,800. I can't not do that. So now we're down to $10,200.
All right, so I have to at least check what aero upgrades are available. Not saying I'm going to waste a bunch of money on them, but you know, these are $100 for these bumpers, so I might waste a little bit of money. Yeah, I like how that looks. I don't know if I might go just with a delete right there. That looks pretty good. Well, no, it's a little bit of a tuner. Let's see. These all kind of look bad though. I think the stock one actually looks pretty good. These are cheap. It'd be stupid not to get them, you know? Or that's my justification. Alright, now that I've spent a little money on that, let's see what total conversions are available. So for engine swaps, $46,000. Alright, can't get that. And I'm guessing it's not worth it to go to all-wheel drive. Most likely it's a good handling car and it's not going to end up with that much power.
So I'll have a lot of acceleration, so I'm going to bet, since Jeremiah has not won a challenge, he gets to pick the courses, and I'm going to guess that he will continue to at least pick one of the events, or maybe at least two of them, where tight corners he won't pick 1.5 mile straightaways. So I'm gonna continue to bet on that fact, and if I do, the launching and cornering should help me pretty significantly. So wow. Oh, that puts me right over budget. Darn it. But that doesn't. I got $5,200 left. Yeah. 22. This leaves me with $1,600. But man, do we got some power. We might have too much power.
These wheels are pretty expensive though, unfortunately. It's going to take 5 pounds off my unsprung weight, which is good, but actually for that amount of money, I'm not sure that's going to be worth it. Yeah, these are all pretty expensive. I should probably spend that on actual performance. Alright, stock wheels it is. I don't really like that, but there we go. Weight reduction is definitely worth it on a car like this, though, because it's already so light. That takes it down to 2,263 pounds, which is definitely worth the money. That's probably worth more than any performance upgrades I could actually buy for that amount of money. I could add a turbo. If I spend $5,000 on a turbo, that gets me 50 more horsepower. That's going to get me up to 290 horsepower. Okay, I have a little bit less than 3,000 credits left to spend. It's kind of the rub. Like, do you want more power or do you want it to handle better? And then I have like 1,500 more to spend. Let's just throw that into some power.
Unless I'm feeling confident, but admittedly Jeremiah had a little bit more time to think about this, so he might have really found a diamond in the rough and I don't know it, but we'll see. The only reason that I'm a little concerned we ended with the same car is that I definitely remember you talking about the car that I picked at one time.
Alright, I'm coming in.
Alright, where you at?
Coming towards you. Right, stay right where you are. Alright, I'm nervous.
No, not the same car.
Oh, good. Alright, yeah, I thought you were probably going to think I was going to pick a Beamer. Understandably.
Not a Beamer. I thought you were going to pick this Beamer.
Yes, that one. I mean, you'd be forgiven for thinking that, considering I owned one.
Yeah.
Or not, not an M3, but I had a 325i of the same vintage. But did you think I would pick an MR2, or did that not?
I was almost certain you were going to end up with this car.
Well,
I really did.
You have an M3. How much did your car cost?
This was a $10,000 purchase.
Sweet. And what'd you do to it?
It has a turbocharger on it. It has all-wheel drive.
Ooh.
Those were two pretty significant upgrades. I made a few adjustments also to the engine, but got it up from, it was, the base rating on the car was like a B 675. It's now an S807 or something like that.
How much horsepower are you rocking?
I actually forgot to look at the horsepower rating, but it's like an S801 or an S809 now.
Jeez. Okay, so that's a pretty good car.
Yeah.
I just basically, slightly better tires, slightly better brakes, slightly better suspension. I did buy some visual upgrades just because. And I'm at about 290 horsepower, which doesn't sound like a lot, but the weight is also like 2,200 pounds.
That was one thing I did do as well. I'm glad you mentioned the weight. I did put on some, I lowered the ride height and put some better dampeners on it because
Sweet.
The braking on this car is not very good, so I need it lower to the ground to keep the weight down.
All right, well, I actually feel like this might be a pretty evenly matched race. I say that, but I've lost plenty of time. So, let's say we go get into a race here.
Sounds good.
Oh, 729. I'm in trouble.
Just remember, I can't stop very well.
That's true.
I was really struggling just trying to get here.
And there you go. All right.
You might be able to get me, also because it's your front-wheel drive, right?
No, it's rear-wheel drive. Rear-wheel drive, rear engine. Yep.
Oh, rear engine. Wow.
Yep, it's an MR2.
Yeah, I didn't spend a lot of time around the small body Toyotas. I don't know them as well as some others. Oh, cars all over the place. Wow. Well, Jeremiah, if you've got speed through corners, enjoy. I don't. I have to wait for the curvature of the earth to pass before I can get around.
Could be worse. I could have thrown 1,100 horsepower into a Ferrari.
Oh. Wait, did you do that? Oh, goodness. Oh, poor brakes, you. Yeah, I am regretting that I did not save some of my money to at least get one brake upgrade and maybe one tire compound upgrade.
I don't know. I feel like you probably spent it wisely, judging by how this is going.
It doesn't. When we did the race with the Lambo and the Ferrari, the cars were really overpowered and mostly out of control. But once we drove them a while, I started to understand how they handled, but the cars themselves were just so insanely powerful in everything that there's a confidence about knowing that if I could just not have the car fly off of the road, I'd be okay. This is actually, for me driving, this is really unnerving because the car just gets all squirrely when I try to slow down getting into a corner.
Well, you're doing a good job of keeping it on the track.
Not right now. I just slid all over the dirt and almost hit a wall.
Shoot. Well, you won anyway, but I overcooked it on the last corner.
That last corner was tough. Uphill, and then it just cuts hard to the right.
Got some of that famous spider snap oversteer. Well,
so Jeremiah, did you at one time have prior? I know you have a Spider now, but do you have an MR2 in your past as well? Or?
I don't. Just
okay.
just a MR2 Spider now.
Okay. Fact.
All right, this is gonna be a 5-lap tight race.
Oh wow.
I know. That's what I'm saying. If there's any way I can beat you on a technical circuit, this will be it.
Did you, because I basically have no, other than the dampeners, I have no cornering upgrades whatsoever. It's stock tires, stock brakes. Does your car feature any stuff that assists you for turning?
I've slightly better brakes, slightly better suspension, no other stiffening, but then just reducing weight helps.
Don't mind the debris in the road, folks. It's just there.
Yeah, my car definitely corners faster, but you're turning so fast, or you're getting out of the corner so fast, it doesn't really matter, I don't think.
Oh, but you have seen fit to punish me with 90-degree turns, so I go really, really slow. Oh.
I know, but you say you're really slow, like, that's still faster than this car, though.
It feels like you're not moving. I'm having to do a whole lot of just coast cornering. I'm not like applying any power to get through the corners. Slow way down because the car will not stop. Oh, like that. See? Ooh. Hi there.
Hello. Oh, I think I turned off collisions, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's for sure. I just drove right through you, and I just bombed another corner. Oh. I think we're going to battle a little bit here, Jeremiah.
All right, man, I wish I'd left collisions on then. I mean, we're battle, but like as soon as we hit a straightaway, you're just gone. Like it's not even drifting away; you just drive away, like I'm missing a gear or something.
Ugh. The biggest problem is that I amped all this power into this car, and because I'm running stock tires and stock brakes, it can't stop. You pull back to slow down, and the brakes just lock. Rubbing the wall there.
Yeah, I think you're cornering about the same speed I am, except for corners where you mess up, which you could be solved by just learning, get more familiar with the car. But
could be though. There's a severe. You have to learn how to really manage the momentum though, and I think for a pure racing, like for pure racing, this is a bad setup because you're forced to slow down so much. You can get saved a little bit by the launch and the acceleration, but you have to get so slow to get around the corners. I feel like it hurts the car quite a bit.
But again, it's not that slow. So slow around the corners is still faster than this car.
It feels very slow.
It's slow for the car's potential, but it's still fast. Whereas this car actually is understeering a lot more than I thought it would.
As even with the all-wheel drive, it's just there's too much forward momentum. The car the tires and the brakes just can't stop the motion to get it to where it'll corner. It's not nimble. That's the word I was looking for at all. It's very rigid. Like your arms would be really sore driving this circuit in this car because you're fighting it so much going. That's what for me, even though I might be leading, for me that's really what's nerve-wracking me so much is that I'm used to, even in the prior challenge with the Lamborghini and the Ferrari, once got a little bit of a feel for how the car behaves, that I could use the power through the corners, and I can't do it in this car. You just have to totally kill it and then reacquire it as you leave the corner. Wow.
I'd say I still don't have a great handle on how this car handles. It's not as good as I was hoping it was going to be. It definitely has the characteristic MR2 handling where it understeers, and then snap oversteer.
Is that just because I haven't driven one of the actual cars? Is that just how the weight distributes as you move through a corner? Or?
Yep, it's like a 45 weight distribution in the front. 43, 45, somewhere around there. So those cars were pretty famous, and because the engine's in the back, just the way they worked. It's the same issue Porsches are, famous for. The older Porsches is they're fine, then you're in a ditch.
Wow.
Yeah, you're lengthening your lead there.
I've gotten a little bit better with the cornering, but of course I say that as I run into a telephone booth. The cars, you'd be able to see from my perspective, the car, I'm really fighting the car though. I know what I want to do, and the car just simply can't do it. It's not as bad as our overpowered supercars, but it's well on its way there.
Honestly, I'm driving pretty crummy in this thing too. It's not as predictable as I would have liked, and I'm spending a lot of time fishtailing or understeering.
Yeah, I'm dealing with that a little bit, especially in some of the harder turns. If I get on the accelerator too early, it's like two of the tires haven't touched the ground, so the car is, it's kind of doing like a corkscrew fishtail maneuver.
Well, there's only the drag race left, and somehow I have a good idea how that's going to go.
To be honest, though, if we were even somehow going to base this in reality, that the car, because it's brand new in the game, this car should not be $10,000.
And there you go. Well, you're still speeding up, so there's that.
Yep. $160.
Jeez.
70. 80.
My car is so much slower, it's not even funny.
186 when it went through the finish.
Mine was at red line of 157.
It was still accelerating.
Yep. So, Steven, I have thoroughly lost in every conceivable way in this challenge. You have decimated me. I am
Now I just want to see how fast it'll go.
Yeah, I am not worthy, and all that.
The turbo upgrade was a pretty big, whatever the horsepower was before, the turbo upgrade was like a 92 horsepower boost.
My turbo was only like a 50.
Yeah, it was pretty big.
Screw that power to weight ratio. I'm going for just power next time. But everyone, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time where Steven can try to continue his really great streak. Bye, everybody.
See you guys.